Good morning to all and welcome to the session. The Hindu Editorial Analysis for Proficiency in English. Today's editorial is all about a particular problem in Mumbai. It happened in Mumbai. And this editorial is very useful. The reason being, there are a lot of words, and many of these words go with are very important from the exam point of view. Quite often, especially bank exams and also SSC, we come across many of these words. That way, today's editorial extremely useful, especially from vocabulary point of view. And today you're going to work on error location, lengthy sentences, fillers, not easy, parajumble, again not easy, idioms, as usual, editorial words. Now let us go to the vocabulary part. As I said, today's editorial, a lot of words are there. That is one thing. Besides the words, what you have to understand, I usually tell my students, if you read the Hindu paper, especially the editorials, there's a lot to learn, especially important from the exam point of view. And this particular editorial, it is going to prove that statement. Sure. I wish all those many students have been informing they have cleared IBPS PO prelims, and I wish all of them all the best. Do well. My blessings are always there for you people. Impunity, as I said, many of these words you come across in bank exams. When it comes to bank exams, if you depend on the Hindu paper, 80% the vocabulary part you can cover. It is covered. 80% not a joke. You don't have to look beyond the Hindu paper. And SSC also, I'm sure, 50% you can easily, the words are, you come across the same words in the exam. I'm going to give the tips definitely. At the fag end of the session, I will do that. So, coming to the words, impunity, an important word. Exemption from punishment. Someone does something wrong and the person is not punished. Then we say exemption from punishment. Then there's an effective word. That word is impunity. Purveyors, we have got for the first time. Purveyors singular, purveyors plural. It's a noun. Impunity is also a noun. A person who sells or deals in particular goods. A person deals with a particular good, then we use the word purveyor. A new word. Misogyny, misogynist. This is an important word, SSC point of view, bank exams point of view. A person who hates women, dislike of or contempt for, or ingrained prejudice against women. Prejudice, again, an important word. Ingrained, an important word. Ingrained means inbuilt, deep rooted, and prejudice, bias. Xenophobia, they have given so many times. Dislike of or prejudice against people from other countries. Phobia means a fear, and xenophobia, fear of foreigners. Revelry, again, we have got for the first time a situation in which people are drinking, dancing, singing, etc. at a party. It is like a wild party, partying, enjoying. Swift, of course, we got this many a time, happening quickly or promptly, swift action. And misogyny, noun, misogynist, noun. Xenophobia, again, noun. Revelry, noun. Swift, adjective. Pervasive. Pervasive, again, we have got many a time. Spreading through every part of something. Spreading, something spreads like that, then we say all pervasive, an important expression. Spreading through every part of something. And it is definitely an important word, and part of speech is adjective. Apathy, an important word. You have to recollect words like callous, stony, apathy, indifferent, all these words. Apathy, part of speech, noun. Lack of interest, enthusiasm, or concern. Usually, we don't mean interest or enthusiasm. Lack of concern is a better expression. Contrast, differ strikingly, contrasting. Prosecuted, public prosecutor, there is one term, and prosecute, verb prosecuted. It has been used as an adjective. To hold a trial, you got to be careful. Trial and trail, both are entirely different. Against a person who is accused of a crime, to see if that person is guilty. A lot of words can be recollected based on this particular word. innocent, guilty, convicted, acquitted, trial, all these words, accused, allegations, alibi, so many words are there. Usually, delicious goes with food, delicious dishes means very tasty. But another meaning here, delightful, something you can enjoy. Irony, a state of affairs or an event that seems deliberately contrary. Irony, we also use the word paradoxical, paradox. Conflicting things exist at the same time. And baffling, again, very important, goes with effective English. Impossible to understand or perplexing. Baffled, perplexed, confused, all these. And imposter, a person who pretends to be someone else in order to deceive others. That is also an important word, imposter. Some people imagine someone is not an inspector, but he dresses up like an inspector, goes somewhere and demands something. Then we say imposter. Now, don't worry this year if you're not qualified, nothing to worry. Always be optimistic and tell yourself, if not this year, next year I'm going to make it. It should be that way. So, very good. That's very good. Incompetence, I always use the word competency, core competency. Competency means your skill, your ability. Incompetence, opposite, inability to do something successfully. Ineptitude, that is an important word. Connivance, willingness to allow or be secretly involved in an immoral or illegal act. If the police, they are willing to allow something, then we use the word connivance. Here you can also think of nexus, one important word, connection between the police and the criminals. Ominous we have got many a time, but it is also very important from the exam point of view. They have given this many a time. And you come across all these words when you read a passage. That way it becomes very easy for you to answer many questions based on the meanings of the words based on the context, suggesting that something unpleasant is likely to happen. Ominous means something bad, it has a negative connotation. Reveal, we have got many a time. Disclose, make public. Berate, a new word. Scold or criticize angrily. Berate. Contemporary, I'm sure you all know, we have got many a time. It has got two different meanings. One meaning contemporary, it means living or occurring at the same time. He was my contemporary. One example. But contemporary issues means what? Current issues. Harass, usually it goes with, unfortunately, police harassment, a typical combination. Harass means subject someone to aggressive pressure or intimidation. Again, intimidation, an important word. Intimidate means what? To frighten someone. Bully. Usually, this goes with school. When you go to school, you come across people who try to bully those who are not very strong. Seek to harm or intimidate those who are perceived to be weak. Interim, an important word. The intervening time, in between time. Alacrity, another important word from bank exams point of view, SSC point of view. Brisk and cheerful readiness to do something. So many words, and what surprised me, the writer is really good at English in the sense he or she, we don't know, used a lot of effective words. And especially these words are very important when it comes to competitive exams. And this one particular editorial, I usually tell students read the Hindu editorials. And why I say that, why I reiterate, this editorial speaks volumes about the importance of reading the editorial. There's so much to learn. There's so much to learn. Accomplice has got a different meaning. Accomplice means partner in crime. That has a different meaning. And allowing something to happen, something negative to happen, a different connotation. Now, don't get scared. So many words. Let us see how it goes. A message from Mumbai. You can't make out message from Mumbai. And simple words, but not very clear whether this message is important, not important, positive, negative, you can't make out. You have to go to the main idea of the editorial. Only then you can make out what exactly the editorial is about. Online mobs spreading hate. Today I'm going to present differently. Listen very carefully. Whatever you see in blue, that is a subject. And after that, you see something in green, that is a verb, related to verb. and you see in orange that is the object. So easy for us to make out, and also we can I can save a lot of time. Online mob spreading hate should not be allowed to continue their work with impunity. Here, online mob spreading hate. The whole thing is a phrase, it's a noun phrase. Online mob spreading hate, and that is a subject. Should not be allowed. We have got this helping verb so many times. They should be allowed, they should not be allowed. We should allow them, they should be allowed. So immediately you have to tell yourself this is in passive voice. Helping verb, passive voice, and all these helping verbs in passive voice, they have the same pattern. You have to repeat the helping verb. You have to use primary auxiliary to be without to, bare infinitive, and whatever the verb, it should be in past participle form. Online mobs, what are they doing right now? Spreading hatred, spreading hate. Obviously, they should not be allowed to continue their work. They should be stopped. They should not be allowed to continue their work with impunity. They should not be allowed to continue their work with impunity. Impunity, exemption from punishment. They should be stopped at any cost. This is the main idea of the editorial. Based on this main idea, obviously, any editorial is written based on a particular incident or a particular event that acts as a stimulus, that is a trigger to write the editorial and provide some intellectual information, provide the insight into the event or incident. Now, here obviously it talks about the background information. Purveyors of hate, misogyny, and xenophobia have been on a boundless revelry in India, online and offline, with near total impunity and oftentimes with support from politicians and the police. The entire editorial is on a negative note, accusing allegations, accusations, and also saying that the police have failed miserably. It has taken a negative stand completely. Now, here I would like to reiterate whatever you see in blue, the whole thing is a subject. Listen very carefully because many of you are preparing for mains. Mains, obviously, you come across completely based on vocabulary and comprehension skill. If you don't know how to read a sentence properly, exam point of view or otherwise, definitely there's every possibility for you guys to get confused. Whenever you read a sentence, you have to look at three things. One is a subject, second is a verb, third is the object. And then it becomes very easy for you to comprehend the context and also whatever the writer wants to convey. Purveyors of hate, misogyny, and xenophobia have been on a boundless rivalry in India. Now, subject, verb, object, very simple. Writers, they want to provide more information. They try to add more words. They try to make it more complicated. But here, that is one thing. A learning point of view, so many words. Purveyors, purveyors singular, purveyors plural means what? A person who sells or deals in a particular good or in particular goods of hate. In this context, not something that is tangible, but something that is intangible. What is the meaning of the word tangible? Tangible means concrete, you can see or touch. What is the meaning of intangible? Abstract. You cannot see, you cannot touch. So here, purveyors of hate, misogyny, xenophobia have been on. Whatever you see in green, that is related to grammar. You have to tell yourself it is about criticizing, obviously. Tone is completely criticizing. Xenophobia have been. This is in present perfect tense. Helping verb plus verb in past participle. But here the primary auxiliary to be has been used as a main verb. And the past participle form of to be is been. That you have to recollect. Have been on a boundless rivalry in India. Rivalry, that is, I don't think. A few words I feel beyond the limit. Who will celebrate, who will enjoy, who will party? That is taking it to an extreme. What is the meaning of the word rivalry? A situation in which people are drinking, dancing, singing at a party. But here again, misogyny, a person who hates women. Xenophobia, a person who has fear of foreigners, and revelry, partying, enjoyment a lot, enjoying a lot, online and offline, with near total impunity. Another important word, it has been used throughout. Impunity means what? Exemption from punishment. You commit a crime, you're supposed to experience punishment, you're supposed to take punishment. But after committing crime openly, deliberately, intentionally, you are not caught, you are not punished, you have some sort of privilege, then it is known as impunity, exempted from punishment. And oftentimes with support from, why does it happen? As I said, completely accusative, the editorial, accusing allegations, the police and the government, oftentimes with support from politicians and the police. Two important factors, two important institutions, rather, politicians and police. In the midst of, again, an important phrase, in the midst of such pervasive police apathy, apathy is an important word, pervasive, an important word, spreading through every part of something, pervasive. God is all pervasive. Usually, one typical example, God is all pervasive, God is everywhere, omnipresent. And apathy, an important word. It means what? Lack of enthusiasm, interest, I don't say, but lack of concern. Someone is suffering, there's no concern, then we use the word apathy. And lack of concern, you should also recollect the words. One is stony, another callous, indifferent. All these words you have to recollect. The swift action by the Mumbai police in tracing and arresting three persons linked to the latest incident involving a fake online auction of Muslim women gives hope that all is not lost. In fact, this is what surprised me. This editorial talks about a particular incident in Mumbai. It praises Mumbai police. It is not completely negative, 80% negative, 20% positive, and that positive thing goes with Mumbai police. But the writer brings in Delhi police and starts criticizing. That is a bit surprising. In this sentence, it talks about in the midst of such pervasive police apathy, with what is going on across the country, it is something bad. The writer feels, the editorial takes a stand. In the midst of such pervasive police apathy, police are not responding, not reacting, and it's spread all over across the country. In that situation, in that scenario, the swift action. Swift means what? Police. Quick. Swift means quick. Swift police action means what? Quick action taken by police. Swift action by Mumbai police in tracing and arresting three persons linked to the latest incident. What is this latest incident? Involving a fake online auction. Auction of Muslim women. This is surprising. A fake, not real. Fake means not real. And fake currency, you have to recollect. Another word, fake currency, you also use counterfeit currency. Fake online auction. Auction usually goes with objects or things, that too. Things that belong to the past, vintage collection, classic stuff, auction. And you have to recollect the word bid. When it comes to auction, we use the word bid, bidding, bidder. But auction of Muslim women is something not acceptable. Gives hope. Swift action of police, Mumbai police, the writer feels, gives a hope that all is not lost. Gives hope that all is not definitely not bad. Some hope is there. It is like silver lining. Otherwise, the writer feels across the country the scenario is not good, not acceptable. Now he talks about contrast. This surprised me. Mumbai police on the one hand and Delhi police on the other hand. The Mumbai police action also contrasts with the inaction of the Delhi police. Perhaps the writer wanted to justify. Across the country, the writer talks about police apathy, but exception Mumbai police. And to substantiate that statement, he brings in the example of the Delhi police to show the contrast. You have to understand that way. The Mumbai police action also contrasts with, here the preposition combination very important, the inaction of the Delhi police who come under the Union Home Ministry and the Noida police in Uttar Pradesh, a BJP ruled state, in a similar case last year. It is nothing but contrasting Delhi police, contrasting Mumbai police with Delhi police, and also the Noida police. Again, I don't know whether intentional or deliberate, but here you see the names of certain parties and the government in power. Uttar Pradesh, a BJP ruled state, in a similar case last year. Whether the three arrested, again it comes to the present, whether the three arrested were indeed the creators of the app remains a question of investigation. Whatever you see in blue, I would like to reiterate that is a subject. Here, the subject is so lengthy. Usually, the writers, one word, it is not a big deal. A writer cannot show his writing skill. But one idea, you try to use a phrase or a clause and use that as a subject, it shows the writer's writing skill or ability. Whether the three arrested were indeed the creators of the app remains a question. The whole thing is a subject, and that remains a question, remains verb, sentence is in present tense. A question remains what? A question of investigation, something we have to wait and watch. And the limited police version at the moment is that they were promoting the platform at a minimum. The police say that these the three people who were caught, youngsters, I suppose, they were just promoting the platform, perhaps may not be the creators at a minimum. The commissioner of the Mumbai police has said, this is again very important from the exam point of view. All of you, please remember today I'm going to focus, the analysis is going to be more on vocabulary and grammar part. Otherwise, it is easy to understand. If you don't know the meanings of all these words, obviously you cannot understand the editorial. So the editorial analysis goes in that direction, words and grammar, these two. The commissioner of the Mumbai police has said, this is something very important. Why is it important? Quite often in competitive exams, they ask questions about indirect speech based on indirect speech, and usually we are conditioned. We look at words like said, asked, told, warned, all these requested, and we recollect the rule. What is the rule? If the reporting verb is in past, the tense is changed to a corresponding past tense. But under pressure has said, you take it for granted, you assume it is in past. But answer my question, it is in past or is it in present perfect? It is in present perfect, has said. Then you have to become alert and recollect the rule that goes with statements in indirect speech. What is that rule? If the reporting verb is in present, present perfect, or future, the tenses don't change to a corresponding past tense. That has to be recollected. Based on that, the commissioner of the Mumbai police has said the probe is continuing, present continuous, and anyone involved in the crime, directly or indirectly, will be arrested and prosecuted. We will arrest active voice, will be arrested passive voice, and prosecute to hold a trial against a person who is accused of a crime to see if that person is guilty, whether guilty or not. I hope you are able to follow because I'm focusing more on words and grammar. Once you understand these two, you can easily comprehend the editorial. This is again very surprising. Delicious. Usually it goes with dishes. Very tasty, mouth-watering. But here, a different combination altogether. I was taken aback, in fact, when I saw this. It is delicious irony. Irony means what? A state of affairs or an event that seems deliberately contrary, contrasting situation, positive and negative. They happen or exist at the same time. Then we say it is an irony. And another word, important word with the same meaning, paradox, paradoxical. It is delicious irony. I don't know why the writer has used delicious in this context. Does not look relevant, in my opinion. It is delicious irony that the Mumbai police reports to the Maharashtra government, led by the Shiv Sena, long accused of xenophobic politics. Now you can make out delicious, another meaning delightful, something very you can enjoy. Here, he talks about irony. What is this irony? Mumbai police arrested, swift action, positive. But Maharashtra state, led by Shiv Sena, accused of xenophobic politics. This deals with xenophobia, one of the problems, and Shiv Sena, long accused of xenophobic politics. That is one thing. Contrary, Mumbai police, they arrested, they acted against this particular problem. That is irony. And it is something positive, perhaps delightful. That is the reason why the writer has used delicious irony. It is delicious irony that the Mumbai police reports to the Maharashtra government, led by the Shiv Sena, long accused of xenophobic politics. The Mumbai police were also quick to act in an earlier case involving threats to cricketer Virat Kohli for standing up for his Muslim teammate. So they have been doing it something positive and also very swift. It is indeed baffling, an important expression. Indeed is used for emphasis. Baffle, an important word. Baffle means what? To get confused, to get perplexed, to get bewildered. It is indeed baffling that the Delhi police, again, the writer brings in the example of Delhi police. It is indeed baffling that the Delhi police, that is expected to play a critical role in securing the lives of all important functionaries of the country, threw their hands up when faced with challenge of identifying some random imposters on social media. Imposter, there is one particular word, means what? A person who pretends to be someone else in order to deceive others. Imposter, again, an important word. So this sentence talks about Mumbai police, they are acting swiftly. On the other hand, Delhi police, they did not do that and they threw their hands up, means they gave up, they surrendered, they yielded when faced with the challenge of identifying some random imposters on social media. Such a level of incompetence a negative word, competence a positive word, and competency, core competency means actual expertise of a particular company or a particular person. My core competency is teaching English language, one example, or my core competency is English grammar or English vocabulary. Such a level of incompetence or connivance, an important word. Competence, we have got many a time, lack of ability, incompetency, inability to do something successfully. And connivance, an important word we have got for the first time. Willingness to allow, that means it goes with officials, the police, the politicians. Willingness to allow or be secretly involved in an immoral or illegal act. If you are involved in an immoral or illegal act, then and you are partner of the crime, then you can use the word accomplice. But here it's a different context altogether. Ominous, an important word, suggesting that something unpleasant is likely to happen. The Delhi police say they have written to GitHub, the US based platform that hosted the toxic apps. Now, what was the reaction? The Delhi police say, again, the reporting verb is in present. They have written, the tense has not changed. Present perfect, present perfect. They have written to GitHub, hub you got yesterday, a place of activity, intense activity. The US based platform that hosted the toxic apps. They are also seeking present continuous tense, the mutual legal assistance treaty procedure to find information about the app from the US after its intelligence fusion and strategic operations unit took over the case. So this talks about the action being taken by the Delhi police and interacting with different organizations, keeping in touch with different organizations to find out the people or persons behind. All this is being revealed, being revealed. Immediately you have to recollect present continuous tense, passive voice. All the continuous tenses in passive voice, you have to look for the word being. Being, verb, past participle form. Obviously, present continuous in passive voice. All this is being revealed, disclosed after a second FIR was filed this week. FIR, you should become alert from the exam point of view. There are certain words that begin with a consonantal letter, but they have a vowel sound. Then we have to use the indefinite article an. This has been given in many exams. An MLA, an MP, an SP, an FIR, an X-ray. So you have to recollect all these examples. That is being a smart learner. Sena MP Priyanka Chaturvedi had written to the Union IT Minister in July and September about several social media platforms or events that were being used to berate Muslim women. Are being used, is being used, present continuous passive voice. Were being used, past continuous passive voice, to berate Muslim women. Again, we have got this word for the first time. Berate means what? Scold or criticize someone angrily. A new word. In November, the minister replied, the response from the minister. In November, the minister replied that the ministry was working on. It talks about, it is in past continuous, on identifying the gaps in current legislation to address contemporary issues. Here, contemporary means what? Living or occurring at the same time. But in this context, it means current issues of cyberspace, including provisions to protect citizens, especially women, from any online harassment and cyber bullying. Harassment means what? To trouble someone, to put a lot of pressure on someone. Generally, it goes with police harassment, unfortunate. And bullying means what? Teasing, intimidating, someone who is considered to be weak. Usually, this goes with school level. While that is necessary, it cannot be an excuse to let online mobs roam free. All these actions are necessary, but contrasting, while that is necessary, it cannot be an excuse to let online mobs roam free. We should not allow them to roam free. That is the main idea of the editorial. The police must identify, you have got this so many times, you know the function, and arrest the original culprit, the one who has committed crime. Another important word, culprit. But if that process takes months on end, there have to be interim measures to enforce the rule of law. To catch the culprit, it may take some time. But if it takes months, then there should be some action in between. There have to be interim measures to enforce the rule of law. The Mumbai police have done exactly that. Again, praising Mumbai police, have done exactly that, present perfect tense, in acting with alacrity that this case deserves. Alacrity, another important word, brisk and cheerful readiness. So this editorial is all, it is praising Mumbai police and criticizing Delhi police, the Delhi police. Yes, that's a good example. I've done a little fast, the reason being so many words, and also we have to work on, though I have done very fast, it has taken more than half an hour. Anyhow, very useful editorial. If you come across an editorial like this, quite often, at least once or twice or thrice a week, you can learn a lot of words, and many of those words you come across in the exam, and you'll be very happy. Let us have a look at the questions based on this editorial. What is this editorial about? Who have been on a boundless revelry in India? That is not exactly, but still, boundless revelry, key words. What gives hope that all is not lost? What is the silver lining in this bad scenario, present scenario, disturbing scenario? What gives hope that all is not lost? What remains a question of investigation? Something remains a question of investigation. What is that? You have to write the answer. What is delicious irony in the context of the editorial? This is an interesting combination, and based on the keywords, you should be able to write the answer. I hope you guys are writing the answers. You are preparing for mains. This is the time, now or never. There's one expression, now or never. At this stage, if you don't write about the editorials, you don't write the answers for these questions, I feel I shouldn't be saying that you're a little off the track. Yes, this editorial is a different editorial class apart, a different, it belongs to a different league altogether. So many words. What is good about this editorial? So many words, that is one thing. And many of these words are usually touched. They are given in different competitive exams. That way, it is a very useful editorial. Try to spot the error. Today I have brought a few sentences are pretty lengthy, not easy to spot the error. You got to read the sentence meticulously. Only then you can. Yes, here, very good. Who is this? Bharat is the first one to respond. He has got it right. A serial entrepreneur who made his first fortune. A serial entrepreneur, subject who made his first fortune, phrase or clause related to the subject. In the early days of World Wide Web, phrase nothing wrong. He has sins. This is a common error. Already we have a subject. What is the subject over here? A serial entrepreneur. Then you don't have to use he, not required. It is redundancy or superfluous, not required. Without he, the sentence is perfect, no error whatsoever. So, answer is without he, the sentence is correct. A lot of people do that. We don't know why. Each sentence looks like a paragraph, so you got to read carefully. Challenging. An important objective of development planning in India has been to provide for increasing employment opportunities, not only to meet the backlog of the unemployed, but also the new additions to the labor force. Not easy. If you get this right, you should be very happy. You're ready for the exam. Under pressure, not easy. I don't know how many of you find this easy. 2D. No, nothing wrong with D, nothing wrong with D. I have been telling you guys, whenever you come across not only, but also, you have to think of parallel expression. Parallel expression. After not only, you have to meet the verb basic form infinitive. After but also, you have the new additions, noun with an adjective. Then it is not parallel expression. Here you have to take employment opportunities to meet to meet not only the backlog. Backlog is a noun of the unemployed, but also the new additions, noun. Then the sentence is right. To meet not only the backlog, but also the new additions, noun, noun. There is an error here. See, there is an error. Not only to meet is not correct, to meet not only the backlog but also the new additions. Not easy under pressure, that to a lengthy sentence. Women riding pillion on two wheelers in the capital have to compulsorily wear helmets according to the final notification issued by Delhi government. Exactly. To meet not only the backlog but also the additions. Noun, noun. This is also not easy. Today, if you get all the five correct, you are outstanding. Spot the errors. Before not only you have to use to meet. Has to. No, no. Women, plural noun. Riding pillion on two wheelers in the capital. Nothing wrong. Women have to compulsorily wear helmets. Nothing wrong. According to the final notification, there is no error. Where is A? That is A. No error, no error. And there is an error here. There is an error. D is the answer. Oh, very good. Who is this? Kashi. I appreciate. And also Dontu. Very good. Highly appreciable. The Delhi government, by the Delhi, we have to use a definite article the Delhi government, then it is correct. There is an error. There is an error. Go to question number 4. Since the commencement of the Constitution in 1950, it is for the third time that governors, this time as much as 9, have had to go, following a change of guard at the center. This is rather easy, though a lengthy sentence. One reading, you should be able to spot the error. The Delhi government is correct. Sentence number 4, there is an error. An easy one. One reading you should be able to. No, no. Here the sentence talks about for the third time that governors, this time governors countable. Will you say governors as much as or as many as? This is an easy one. As many as 9 have had to go. There's an error C. This is an easy one. You should be able to get it right. As news of police violence spread, Patel community members returning to villages and towns from the rally set fire government property. This is also based on a standard expression used in the newspapers regularly. Question number 5. 5 is D. Yes, that's right. Set government property on fire. Set government property. Have had to go, it is nothing but present perfect tense. Present perfect. Present perfect. They had to go, they have to go, present, they have to go. Listen very carefully. That's a very good question. I will write here. I have to go. It is present, helping verb, have to, used to express an obligation imposed by an external authority or a situation. I had to go, past. Present perfect, I have had to go. And past perfect, I had to go. Simple. Present perfect, I have had to go. Gone you cannot use here because they're at the here. Situation had to go. The center decides who can be the governor, who cannot be the governor. It is in the hands of the center. They are at the receiving end. Based on that, they had to go. You cannot use gone, certainly not. Context is very important. So here, I have to go present, I had to go past, I have had to go present perfect, I had to go past perfect. Based on the context, you have to use the appropriate tense. 3 out of 5. Please go to fillers, not that easy. You have to understand the context. Contextual awareness is very important. Has anyone got all the 5 correct? Please answer my question. Error location. Prasad's 3. 3 good enough. In his first public comments, the president said with concern that the leak of classified information from the battlefield could potentially individuals or operations. 1 3. Very good. Strengthen, the context is negative. We cannot use a positive word. Kill, not correct. Disturb, casual word. Identify, not relevant. Jeopardize. Jeopardize means what? Endanger. Endanger or threaten. Answer is the third option. Very good. Not easy though. By the governments, some relief from raging price rise can happen anytime in the next 6 months. What is the right word? Second filler. Again, quite challenging, not easy. You got to understand the context. By the governments, 2-1. No, no, no. Who is this? Pavani has got it right. No. Answer is the second option. It is not plan, not suggestion, not posting. By the government's reckoning, reckoning means thinking. By government's thinking, some relief from raging price rise can happen anytime in the next 6 months. Appropriate word is reckoning. I reckon means think, formal word. I appreciate those who have got it right, not easy. Anger, the psychologists say, has as much to do with cooperation as with conflicts, and emotions are used to others into cooperating in the long run. This is a very good question. Today, filler is also not easy, quite challenging. If you get the third one right, correct, you should be happy. Very good. Who is this again? Vishnuvardhan, first one to get it right. After that, Balu Nayak. Here we have to bring into, there's a clue for you. And emotions are used to bringing others into cooperating in the long run. A lot of students think after two, we should not use a verb in ing form. That is not correct. Usually, but exceptions are there. Here, used to goes with used. Used to is a helping verb. I used to shopping. I used to reading. I'm used to reading. I'm sorry. I'm used to reading. I'm used to running. I'm used to writing. Used to what? Writing, running, bringing. These are nouns, gerunds. So answer is the second one. I really appreciate those who have chosen the second option. Used to after that noun, gerund. Exactly. What started as a matter of national pride. Prod means here there is one word prod. Prod means a poke. Prod. Prod means to poke with your finger. What started as a matter of national pride seems to be coming in fur from various quarters for a budget that has quadrupled. This is also quite challenging, not easy. No one has answered. We are running out of time. Question number 4. Time is already 8:49. We still have to work on parajumbles, idioms, editorial words. Why no response? Yes, very good. Flak. Flak is the right word. Flak means what? Nagamani has got it right. Only one so far. Fourth option, flak means criticism, severe criticism, not feedback. Coming in seems to be coming in for shame, feedback, loss, increase. Here, something is coming in for criticism. Flak means criticism. Answer is the fourth option. That goes with formal English. If you read the newspapers, obviously, 1 second you know this is the right word. Yes, Gautami also, she has chosen the fourth option, correct. This is easy. Adi also got it right. Sai Arvind, very good. Based on grammar knowledge, not informed you about this, you would have missed the opportunity. Whenever you see would have plus verb past participle, you have to think of past conditional. Past conditional, we use main clause would plus have plus verb past participle. If clause, past perfect tense. Past perfect tense, if I had not, there is one pattern. And if you drop the word if, you have to use it in interrogative. Had I not. Based on that answer is the fourth option. Had I not. Had I not informed you about this, you would have missed the opportunity. Grammar knowledge, purely based on grammar knowledge. Now, this is not easy, but give it a try. Para Jumble, I have brought from the Economist magazine. Do remember they have been asking essays, passages, cloze test, para jumbles from Economist magazine quite often. The Economist, the New York Times, so many magazines, the Wall Street Journal, Psychologist Today, Management Today, the Harvard Business Review, all these. 4 out of 5 is very good. I appreciate. Preetham, Nagamani, very good. Please go to the para jumble, try to get the correct order. If you get this correct, you're very good in the sense you're ready for the exam. And do remember, this is from the Economist magazine. And they're giving from the recent latest issues. September issue they gave in the month of November. 2 months gap they are asking, they're using. What is the first one here? F is the first one. No. E is the first one. E is the first one. Uber announced that it would comply with an important combination. A recent legal ruling in Britain. One is E. After that, it becomes easy. Two is D. No. Two is not D. No, no, no. Two is not D. One is E. I have written already, but two is not D. You cannot choose the first. Britain, of course, the first country here. You must have chosen D because Britain, the first country where Uber has accepted. You cannot use such conditions. It does not go with the sentence. Yes, very good. Who is this? Chaitra has got it right. Second one is C. Announced that it would comply with a recent legal ruling in Britain, which found here, which means it stands for Britain. Britain, which found that its 70,000 or so drivers, it means Uber's 70,000 or so drivers in the country are employees, not contractors. EC one pair. So, what does it mean? It has identified a ruling which found that its 70,000 or so drivers in the country are employees, not contractors. This means very good, Nagamani. ECB. E is over, C is over. Now B. This means what? This means they will be entitled to the minimum wage, holiday pay, and a pension in Britain. Now again you have the Britain. Then you have to say the first country where Uber has accepted such conditions. So B, D, one pair. After that, no, the status of workers in the gig economy. Gig economy means you take the employees, they or workers, they produce something on a contract basis, one work at a time. That is known as gig economy. For example, if you take drivers, taxi drivers, they do something, one particular trip, they make money, they contribute, And that way, there are so many people, one work at a time. That is known as gig economy. This is the last but one. The status of workers, it's all about workers. The status of workers in the gig economy is being reviewed in other cases around the world. And the last sentence, courts increasingly agree that it is the drivers who are being taken for a ride. It is drivers. Drivers take us for a ride usually. It is the other way. Drivers are being taken for a ride. Not easy. Those who have got, no, gigantic is different, gig is different. Gig economy means one work at a time. Employees usually they work the whole month, they contribute. But here one work at a time and make money, contribute money. For example, taxi driver. A taxi driver picks up someone, drops somewhere, makes money on that. In a way, contributes to the economy. That is known as gig economy. Now, to catch a Tartar, they have given in SBI many a time, an important one. What is the answer for this idiomatic expression? To catch a Tartar. 1 4. No, no. Answer is the second option. To deal with a person who is more than one's match. Do remember this is an important one they have given in so many competitive exams, especially SBI. To deal with a person who is stronger than you, more than a match. To show the white feather. To show the white feather. Quick, it's already 8:57. We are running out of time. What is the meaning of the idiom to show white feather? The white feather. Very good. Bharat has got it right. To show the white feather means behave like a coward. Run away from the battlefield. Based on that, not correct, not correct, not correct. Answer is the fifth option, none of these. Madhav and Bharat, they have got it right, two of them. To play fast and loose. Exactly, Sai Arvind. To behave like a coward. You run away from the battlefield when you see the enemy. Then you can use this. Show the white feathers or the white feather. To play fast and loose. All these are from SBI. Very important. They have used many a time. To be narrow minded. Who is this? Bharat again, he has got it right. To act in an unreliable way. Not reliable way, unreliable way. Very good, Bharat. So let us go to the third one. First one is over. Important. Second one important. Third one important. Look at this, tell the score at the fag end of the session. Wear one's heart on one's sleeve. What does it mean? Question number 4. Again, Bharat, why they so now someone has answered the fourth one and others are answering the third one. How come? Yes, wear one's heart on one's sleeve to show one's feelings, to express one's feelings, to make everything open. Answer is the first one. In the blues, we use regularly. I'm sure you guys can answer. No, no, fourth one, the first option, and the fifth one, he is in the blues. Means what? Having many blue things, being colorful, behave like a lord, melancholy and low spirited. Answer is the fourth option. Melancholy and low spirited. In the blues means sad, depressed. Yes, that's right. Now it's exactly 9. Do you want me to continue or do you want to work on this slide later? Shall I continue or shall I wind up the session? The last slide, editorial vocabulary. If you guys say continue, sir, I will continue. If you say no, sir, we have to rush, we have other sessions, I will wind up the session. Retirement blues. That's right. Monday blues, another expression. Continue. Fine. So try to get the meaning quickly. Impunity. I will write the part of speech. You can also write, but focus on the meaning. So impunity, noun. What does it mean? Exemption from punishment. Answer is D. Purveyor. Persons, purveyors, persons who sells products or services that are particular products or particular services. Answer is H, obviously noun. Misogyny, noun. Misogynist, also noun. Dislike of women, G is the answer. Xenophobia, phobia means fear, that is also a noun. And dislike of foreigners. All these are familiar but important. Revelry, noun. Partying, simple expression. To enjoy a lot, dance, sing, drink at a party. A is the answer. Pervasive, all pervasive. God is all pervasive. Typical example, spreading through. Every part of something, spread everywhere. B is the answer. Apathy, apathy, lack of concern, callous nature, stony nature. Baffle, baffling, perplexed. So baffling, adjective, baffle is verb. Do remember. Baffled, perplexing. And it can be a noun, it can be a verb. Obviously, it is E. Imposter, a person means a noun. Where is it? Person who pretends to be someone else. Alacrity, noun. The last one, briskness, that is also a noun. If you have got all the 10 correct, you should be very happy. And today's schedule, my schedule, enrichment schedule, 8 to 9, editorial, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m., grammar and reading comprehension skill, exam topics, Unacademy SSC YouTube channel, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m., special class, free class, grammar and reading comprehension skill, exam topics, Unacademy platform. That's all for today. Have a nice